Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed. I'm Jenny Taft with Skip Bayless, Rick Bayless on this Friday, and Shannon Sharp. Looking sharp today. I don't know if I've ever said that. Pretty creative, not gonna lie.
Wait a second. I need sunglasses over here.
I don't know what is happening.
That's what all that going on.
What is happening over there?
I'm like, whoa.
Oh, no. Well, you're in the ballpark.
This whole seat.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
But you know what? As always, it's Black Friday over there.
It's about to be. It's about to be over, Skip.
Yeah.
It's about to be over.
All right.
About to be over. We have a packed show. It is good to see you both today. And how about we get right to it? In a conference call yesterday, Pete Carroll said that he regretted not signing Colin Kaepernick when he visited with the Seahawks in 2017. Pete also said that another team had just called him before the conference call that was interested in Cap. Shannon, are you buying that he regrets not signing Cap and that another team had interest in signing him? What do you think?
Okay, let me say no, hell no. Skip, that's the easiest thing to say now. You had an opportunity. The man was in your building. You really didn't talk football. You talked about all the peripheral stuff that was going on.
Yep.
So you had him in there.
In 2017.
Which was 1 year after he played. Well, it was the off season, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, in which he played at San Francisco. So you have him in there. So his rationale, he was too good to be a backup. Skip, when you brought him in, you knew that. Because you have to understand, Russell Wilson was the only quarterback in his first 5 years to have double-digit wins.
Yep.
So he was comfortable. He was entrenched as your starter. He had won a Super Bowl. He was a dumb call and a bad throw away from winning another Super Bowl. So he was not going to be. Skip, this is what I hate. It seems to me now, because Colin Kaepernick has a swell of support from the public. Everybody. Man, we did him wrong. I should have signed him. Skip, now, if you say, well, Colin, we'd love to have you. You understand that Russell is our starter. You're going to be the backup. And Cap tells you, no, I want to be a starter. That's one thing, Skip. But you don't say, oh, you're overqualified. Skip, a man that's down on his luck. I don't care how good he used to have it. If he's down on his luck, you don't say, man, you had it too good. I can't let you stay in my basement when you used to live on a house on the hill.
True, that's a good point.
Man, come on. I couldn't even see myself doing you like that. Let him turn you down. Let his pride say, nah, Brian, I can't infringe on you like that. But for you to take it upon yourself, Skip, I thought that's what you wanted, considering that Seattle was always in playoff contention, always looking to make a deep run. So why wouldn't you have a guy that's been on a team that's been in playoff contention, that's made deep runs, that's taken a team to a Super Bowl? Why would you want that? Isn't that one of the reasons why the Cowboys signed Andy Dalton? You want to try to get as much experience as you possibly can.
Another good point.
So if something were to happen to your starter, you don't miss a beat. Skip, all things being equal. If you look at it, most teams want quality backup. Now, I understand now with the situation with the cap and how veterans used to be, the days of the Steve Young sitting on your bench, that's over. Guys that caliber, Skip, they're not sitting on your bench. But in today's game, when you can play a guy $1 million and have a nice quality starter, or $3 million, what they're playing Andy Dalton in Dallas, Skip, you get your nice quality backup. And that's what I would think Seattle would want. Now, I understand that Russell hadn't been hurt, hadn't missed any time. But for Pete to say, I regret that. And then he going to turn around and fix his mouth and say, well, somebody called me. Now, when Pete wanted to sign Colin Kaepernick or brought him in, he talked to Jim Harbaugh, who had coached Cap for 3 years, so 2011, 12, 13, 14. So he had coached him 4 years. Another team might be interested in Cap. They called Pete Carroll, who spent a half a day with him. They didn't call Jim Harbaugh. They didn't call Jim Tomasula, somebody that coached him. Skip, when I was a free agent, when I got released by the Ravens, I went on 2 visits. I went to Seattle, I went to the Raiders. Why the hell would somebody call Mike Holmgren? I spent a half a day with Mike Holmgren. Why would somebody call, I forget the guy, he was the head coach at, who was the coach there, Skip? He was the O-line coach.
At where?
At the Raiders. I forget his name, Skip. He lost the Super Bowl. No,
not Art Shell. No.
Callahan. Bill Callahan.
Bill Callahan. Oh,
Bill Callahan.
Okay.
I spent a half a day with Bill Callahan.
Yep.
Skip, why would somebody call Bill Callahan and Mike Holmgren and not Mike Shanahan?
Yep.
Not Brian Billick? What sense does that make, Skip?
None.
Exactly. So I'm going to call. You know what was a good idea, Skip? I wonder if Cap have a phone number. I wonder if Cap has a representative that have the phone. Maybe I should call them and ask them. So you're going to call somebody that spent a half a day with Cap 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
As opposed to picking up the phone, calling Cap, his representative, or Jim Harbaugh, who spent 4 years coaching him. Jim Thomasula, who spent a year coaching him. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to call any of those guys. Yeah. You call Pete Carroll. Man, Pete, stop this. It's okay. The problem was in 2017, because of what Cap was doing, trying to bring attention to police brutality against unarmed black men and women and social injustice in America. The temperature was too hot for you to sign it. Okay, fine. We understand that. You're not the only one, but for you to try to come back around, Skip, and says I should have signed him. No, we're not gonna do that, Pete. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna let you. We're not gonna play that ball game. Yep. All of a sudden, you have empathy and you feel sorry. You didn't sign him. We know why you didn't sign him, and now you're trying to raise that part because history is gonna look very, very favorably on Colin Kaepernick and not so much the NFL. It's as simple as that, Skip.
I can't tell you how much I agree with every point you just made, and then some. I am also going to call big BS on Pete Carroll on both issues. And speaking of BS, every time I see that man on television, my BS detector goes boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Because I cannot argue with the results he has gotten at USC and in Seattle because he is a good football coach. You cannot take that away. High success, USC, Seattle. Right. Consistently high success, right? Yep. We get that. But there's something about the way he handles himself on the sideline and in media sessions that just sends my BS detector into oblivion almost because it comes across as such sort of fired up, gum-chomping, phony baloney.
Exactly.
That his team seemed to swallow, that they seem to be okay with it. He seems to be able to, in a good way, con his teams into playing high-level football, right? Yep. Black and white players seem to swallow all of the Pete Carroll phony baloney. But in this case, his initials are PC, and that's exactly what he's trying to be. Correct. It's politically correct.
Correct.
He is trying to say the quote-unquote right thing for the utmost wrong reasons on both counts. Yep. Because to me, he's trying to take one for the team to say, oh, I regret. We missed the boat on signing Cap back in 2017. And he's trying to do the league a solid by being the one coach who says, you know, I heard from another team, somebody out there is interested. Who is it? I can't tell you who it is because there isn't anybody. That's why. Exactly. There isn't anybody. But he is trying to help Seattle and Madison Avenue NFL defuse what has become a firestorm of a situation. Cap. Correct. Just give us something back. The world is saying, just apologize, acknowledge. Yeah. Just say the man's name.
What's everybody saying, Skip? Apologize to him. Don't just apologize. Give him a job. You heard what Reverend Al said. We don't want no empty apology. Right. Give the man a job.
Give the man a job. But at least do something. At least like publicly acknowledge it because our commissioner did not use his name when he made his statement that we heard a week ago today.
Correct.
And again, you and I surmised maybe it's because of potential legal issues. Right. Again, Colin Kaepernick, Eric Reed sued the NFL for collusion. That was settled in 19. It took a year and a half to settle it. Right. Not sure how much money they received, but whatever, it got settled. Right. And maybe terms of settlement said neither side can sort of speak the other one's name in public as far as Roger Goodell and Colin Kaepernick go. Right. But I don't know that. Right. So I'm trying to be fair about the landscape here that we're dealing in right now. But now back to Pete Carroll. Let's go back to 2017. The first thing he said is that Colin called him out of the blue. That's the quote from yesterday. He called me out of the blue in 2017 to say, hey, what's going on? How should I handle my... He called, according to Pete, for advice. I don't believe that for 1 second. I believe that that locker room was full of strong black leadership. Remember, they were still the Legion of Boom. And I'm going to remind everybody, in that locker room was Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, and Earl Thomas, and Michael Bennett, and Bobby Wagner, and I can go right down the line.
Right.
Strong, high-level, successful black leadership. Very tightly knit on one side of the ball. Not on both sides, but just on defense.
Right.
It was like this. It was a locker room force that had publicly said, why not us with Colin Kaepernick? Why don't we bring him in? Perfect fit here. We have Russell Wilson. Colin can do some of the same things. And I believe that Colin, if in fact he initiated the call, it's because Richard Sherman or Michael Bennett or somebody told Colin, hey, Pete's interested. Give him a call because we're pushing for you here. So I don't know the semantics of who initiated that conversation, but we do know for a fact, you know for a fact, I believe you heard from Colin's camp about this, that he did go.
Yes.
But he went to work out and he got there and found out, no, you're not going to dress out and work out.
Correct.
Nope, you're just going to sit and talk to Pete Carroll. So is it just a lip service visit?
That's not that's what Cap told me out of his own mouth. He never went to the blackboard to draw up any plays, to diagram any plays. They never asked him football-related questions. It was the landscape of, what are you doing? Where do you see yourself? Things of that nature. He didn't throw. He didn't do anything. He didn't put on Seattle gear and go on a football field and do anything that would be football-related, or you would think you're bringing a guy in to work out. That's what Cap told me.
Okay, so once again,